Hello, boys and girls. I'm back, and it's lovely weather at the moment, isn't it? It's very, very sunny, and things are warming up a bit, which is brilliant. Which it means that spring is on the way, which is fantastic. I really, really like spring. Things start coming to life. Things start coming out of the ground, and I've seen lots of little signs of spring recently. So, for example, I was in the park the other day, very early, having a walk, and I saw a bee. I saw a really big bee, and he landed on my shoe. And then this morning, I saw a butterfly. I saw a butterfly flying around in my garden. So there you go. Things are happening. Now, with that in mind, I thought that I would find a book that made me think of spring. And I found this. It's called Bee, and it's by Britta Teckentrup, which is a fantastic name. And it says, Bee, nature's tiny miracle. Boys and girls, bees are so important. Without bees, we wouldn't have plants, we wouldn't have a lot of our food. We need bees to pollinate so that it continues to grow. Bees are so important to us, and they're at risk, and we really need to look after bees. So maybe after you've finished listening to this story, you could go and find out about bees. You could do some research on the internet with a grown-up and find out how you can help bees. Very important. Right. In the meantime, though, let's read the book. It's called Bee. Dawn is breaking on a brand new day, and in the meadow, poppies sway. What's a poppy? A bee appears, striped black and gold. A wonder of nature is about to unfold. In the treetops, birds start to sing. The little bee beats her wings. As she travels here and there, a gentle thrumming fills the air. That's a good word, isn't it, boys and girls? Thrumming. What do you think thrumming might be? They're out in nature, they're out in the forest. Do you think it might be a sound? Back and forth, toing and froing, the bee knows exactly where she's going. Visiting flowers of every hue, she has a special job to do. Little ladybird down here as well, boys and girls. Gathering nectar as she goes from every foxglove, every rose. Dusty with pollen, the little bee buzzes, busily. Some wonderful words there, boys and girls. We've got nectar, we have pollen. I wonder what they are, nectar and pollen. Maybe that's another thing that you can find out with your grown-up when you're doing some bee research. Bee travels on from bloom to bloom, drawn in by their sweet perfume. Harvesting flowers one by one, her compass is the midday sun. Compass, it's kind of like a map, lets you know where you are, lets you know where you're going. Look, there's more animals here now. Look, some foxes. There's an owl. There's those ladybirds again. Lots of things going on. And have a look up here. Can you see the little caterpillar? What do caterpillars become? Among the orchard's apple trees, blossom quivers in the breeze, carrying pollen from place to place. Bee always leaves a tiny trace. So here's the bee, and you can see this trace of pollen. Can you see it? This trace of pollen. What is this pollen that they're talking about? This trace that they're leaving everywhere. Research this with your grown-ups. Find out why it's important. Find out why we need bees. And look, we've got some geese down here. Birds, foxes again, and our ladybird. Flowers, as far as the eye can see. Too many flowers for just one bee. All of a sudden, bee is gone. She has a message to pass on. Wow, boys and girls, look at all of those colours. Beautiful, isn't it? Back at the hive, bee spreads the news. There's work to be done, no time to lose. Listen for their gentle humming. The word is out. The bees are coming. Buzzing over the dense hedgerows, past the pond where wild thyme grows. Through the orchard's sweet-smelling scent, the bees travel on with calm intent. We have a frog. There's a little butterfly over here as well. There's those geese and the ladybird. Where are these bees going? As lilies grow orange in the sun, the bees must finish what they've begun. Stopping at every flower they find, leaving the gift of pollen behind. There's that word again, pollen. Must be very important, this pollen. The bees pass over a woodland stream. Droplets sparkle and pebbles gleam. Water trickles, bubbles and weaves. A weeping willow trails its leaves. As the bees fly on through buds and burrs, a tiny miracle occurs. For every plant and flower you see was given life by one small bee. The end. Bees, boys and girls. Very, very important. Find out about them. Do some research and find out why they're so important to us. Boys and girls, now that we've finished our story, maybe you'd like to make some bees of your own. Maybe you'd like to make some lollipop bees, or maybe you'd like to make a finger puppet bee. There's lots of things in your house that you could use to make your own bees. Maybe you've got a wooden spoon lying around that you could stick some bits of paper to make a little bee of your own. Or maybe you'd like to do some insect drawings in flour on your work surface. That's always fun. Or maybe, boys and girls, you could get some oranges and some pasta and make some big scary spiders. Or maybe you'd just like to make a little bug out of fruit and pasta. How are you going to make your insects?